It's wild. Why are brilliant, highly experienced product managers suddenly building completely failing AI products? Seriously, we're seeing this everywhere, from top-tier tech giants to scrappy little startups. Leaders who have flawlessly shipped traditional software for years are all of a sudden hitting a brick wall. And why is that? Well, it's because building an AI product is fundamentally not the same job as building traditional software.
Welcome to this explainer. I am so pumped to have you here. Today, we're unpacking the AI PM disruption. We're going to explore why the old rulebook is being completely thrown out the window and how the absolute best in the industry are shifting from managing deterministic products to orchestrating probabilistic systems.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the core PM role, then how AI completely breaks that mold. We'll get into the specific AI PM distinction, dive into some really juicy real-world case studies, map out the new AI lifecycle, and finally wrap up with the AI-augmented PM. Let's jump right in.
All right, to really get this disruption, we've got to start with the baseline. Section 1, the core PM role.
So traditional product management, you know the drill. It sits right at the intersection of three pillars: desirability, feasibility, and viability. As a PM, you're the one person in the room holding this whole complex puzzle in your head. Take building a standard checkout button, right? You ensure users actually want it. That's desirability. You ensure your engineering team can code it so it works every single time. That's feasibility. And you make sure it drives revenue. Viability. Master those three things and you build incredible software.
Okay, let's dive into where everything changes. Section 2. How AI breaks the mold. A true paradigm shift. Here's the crux of it. Traditional software is deterministic. You code a checkout button correctly, and boom, it does the exact same thing every single time. It's totally rules-based. But AI software? It's fundamentally probabilistic. It's pattern-based. If you ask an engineering team to build an AI feature to categorize your incoming support tickets, the only honest answer to "will this work perfectly?" is, well, we don't know yet. You don't just write the code, you empirically discover the model's capabilities through endless iteration. You are literally managing probabilities now, not just pixels.
And this massive paradigm shift completely rewrites our baseline framework. Section 3, the AI PM distinction. A brand new framework.
Let's break down this new reality because it is fascinating. For a traditional PM, desirability is all about solving known user pain points. But for an AI PM, it's suddenly about managing expectation mismatch. Users might expect your new AI scheduling assistant to be, flawless magic, and then they completely abandon it when it makes one tiny mistake. For feasibility, traditional PMs are used to predictable coding timelines. AI PMs? They're dealing with totally unpredictable model capabilities. And viability? Oh man, traditional software relies on standard profit margins. AI viability is this wild ride of volatile inference costs, because every single time a user prompts your AI tool, it costs real compute money.
So what this all means is that AI PMs have to aim for a totally new milestone: model product fit. Forget just product market fit for a second. You actually have to ask, does the specific AI model's failure profile satisfy our product requirements? Aggregate accuracy is a massive trap here. Think about it. If a medical AI is 96% accurate overall, but it fails 40% of the time on rare, complex diseases, which is exactly when doctors actually need it most, then it completely lacks model product fit. The distribution of those errors matters deeply. And to actually pull off that fit, you need what's called trust calibration architecture. Basically, this means actively designing how you communicate confidence and uncertainty to your user. Like, do you show a progress bar? Do you provide citations? Do you explicitly tell the user, hey, I might be hallucinating here. Please double check this. A truly great AI PM designs the boundaries of knowledge so the user builds a perfectly accurate mental model of what the AI can and definitely cannot do.
And this brilliantly illustrates why these concepts are literally existential for your business right now. Section 4. Real-world AI case studies, high stakes and big wins. Let's start with a massive high-stakes failure, $420 million. Just let that number sink in. That is the massive loss Zillow experienced in just a few months back in 2021. They used an automated valuation model to predict home prices and just started buying up real estate. But the model failed to account for real-world market volatility and the unpredictable impact of the pandemic. When you blindly trust an AI model's output without rigorous risk management and constant outcomes analysis, the financial consequences can be absolutely catastrophic. Or, hey, how about a massive failure in trust calibration architecture? Remember when Google launched AI overviews at the very top of their search results? Users quickly found it recommending that they, add glue to their pizza to keep the cheese from sliding off, or that they should literally eat rocks for nutritional minerals. It was pulling straight from Reddit jokes and satire. This is exactly what happens when you scale an AI product without deeply evaluating the source quality, distribution, and failing to set strict boundaries on what queries the AI should confidently answer. But okay, let's look at a massive win: GitHub Copilot. This is a great example. When they launched, their underlying model was incredibly smart, but it still struggled with really complex domain-specific logic. Now, a traditional PM probably would have looked at the aggregate accuracy metric and said, yeah, no way, this isn't good enough to ship. But the AI PMs at GitHub? They realized developers didn't actually need it to be perfect, they just needed it to save them time on boring boilerplate code. So they brilliantly shifted their North Star metric to acceptance rate, just measuring how often a developer actually accepted the AI's code suggestion. By really understanding their model product fit, they shipped an absolutely revolutionary tool.
Because you clearly cannot build these probabilistic tools using the old deterministic playbook, let's look at Section 5, the new AI lifecycle, which is intensely iterative. This new product development lifecycle is intensely, and I mean intensely iterative. First up, you start with goal definition and data strategy. You aren't just writing up a feature spec anymore. You're defining exactly what clean, relevant data you actually need to train the system. Second, you enter model training and experimentation. This is an empirical loop. You run experiments, you test, and you discover the model's capabilities as you go. And third, human-in-the-loop integration. Look, AI models are rarely perfect out of the gate. You have to design formal, built-in processes for users to provide feedback so you can correct and improve that model over time.
Now, here's the kicker. AI isn't just changing the products we build, it is radically changing how product managers actually do their own daily jobs. Section 6, the AI Augmented PM, Strategic Automation.
The sheer amount of time you can get back is honestly staggering. Take user research, right? A traditional PM is in there manually reading and tagging hundreds of support tickets in a massive spreadsheet. Meanwhile, an AI-augmented PM just runs a prompt to instantly synthesize all those negative themes and verbatims. Competitive analysis goes from spending days manually browsing competitor websites to just getting automated agent alerts whenever something shifts. You go from waiting a full week for the data team to run a simple query to just asking your database a question using natural language. Automating all these manual tasks frees up your cognitive bandwidth for the stuff that actually matters: high-impact strategy.
So to really thrive in this new era, you need to cultivate 4 essential skills. And spoiler alert, learn to code is absolutely not one of them. You need data acumen to understand data quality and integrity. You need technical intuition so you can have credible, smart conversations with your engineers about trade-offs between precision and latency. You need rigorous ethical judgment to foresee how a probabilistic system might fail or confidently present incorrect info to your users. And finally, you need systems thinking, because an AI product isn't static, it's a living, breathing loop that learns from every single interaction. Because, let's be real, with great power comes incredible digital risk. Whether you're dealing with a fun consumer app or high-stakes software running a massive warehouse, as an AI PM, you absolutely must prioritize strict validation, robust security, and those human-in-the-loop checkpoints. You are the final line of defense to ensure that trust and security are baked right into the product from day one. Which leaves us with this final, really provocative question. As a product manager today, are you still just managing static products, or are you ready to start orchestrating and managing probabilities? The transition is definitely not easy, but for those who embrace the uncertainty, build that strong technical intuition, and deeply, deeply understand model product fit, the opportunity is absolutely massive. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep asking the right questions, keep iterating, and I'll see you in the next one.